to day 5 of the Darwin Carnival. Timbo, good morning, mate.
Hello, how are everybody?
We're good. Big weekend, mate, Saturday, highlighted by the metric mile, race 7 on the card.
It is nice card up there, nice fields for the Saturday meeting. So yeah, it should be a good day of punting.
Now, mate, we always celebrate our wins, and we celebrate them well too, by the way. I think we need to acknowledge the strip out we had last weekend, along with every other betting platform or tipping platform that we saw, but we were a little bit off the mark last week. And you know what was weird about last week's racing was that I think about 80% of the races that we mapped exactly like we thought they would map.
Yep.
But the horses didn't finish the way we anticipated or we thought they were in their sort of program, did we?
No, it's a tough day up there, Carnival time, especially your Saturday's meetings. A lot of horses coming into state as well, so it is tough up there to get one win, let alone a couple. But we just move forward and move forward to this Saturday.
We do.
Forget about last week
on day 5. So look, let's hook into it. We're gonna be looking at 6 races out of the 7. We're gonna leave the maiden alone. We don't typically like to dive into maidens.
Nah, we like just to watch them and see how they're going.
Certainly from a tipping and a betting sort of scenario. So let's leave the maiden alone. But we'll sort of jump into race 1 pretty quickly. And Timbo, you're going to grab hold of this. This is the 0 to 58 over 1200, mate.
It is, mate. It's a field of 9. So each way odds again here, guys. I don't think this race is overly strong. I've done the maps on these. But I have found a couple with a little bit of an extra edge in this field. But like I said, I just don't think they're overly strong race. There's a horse in there called the Mistral, the top weight. Clark and Todd actually. First up, this is an ex-Sydney horse. So first up last week on the dirt, and we know how we don't really usually like horses. We like to watch them on their first start up there to see how they go. This horse went exceptional. I thought up there on its first start. Actually ran third to a horse that we tipped up there, which was Expert Witness.
Yep.
And actually was strong to the line over the 1,000.
It was.
The step up in distance here will suit this horse up to the 1,200.
Yep.
So I'm expecting this horse to be strong to the line after watching its replay. Denton's jumped on board. Toddy's jumped back on board. Has jumped on board for this thing, which is another massive advantage for it. Out of barrier 8 today, bud. I just want to see where it sits in the run. I don't expect it to go forward, as there's a couple of speed horses in there, like Cassette, which actually jumps from barrier 1 today. I expect him to actually lead. So I'm thinking Toddy might just slip back midfield somewhere and try to pounce on him late, coming around the turn.
Where do you see New Roman sitting though? Because it's a natural leader too.
Yeah, that's right.
From wide,
yeah,
has to come across. Can't
no.
win by going backwards.
No, has to come across. So I picture New Roman as well as Cassette to as New Roman's come from 7, so he's got no choice to ping across and try and get to the lead as well and to be strong. But I think just on last run, the Mistral from Todd and Clark stable, I think this horse might be a little bit too strong over that distance.
Yeah.
There's a horse in there also Sweet Chevelle that I also like that I'm going to put in there for my second selection.
Yep.
Last start 6 behind Chief Mondo, who came out and won last week, which was a great run.
Yep.
Track and distance, this horse is 2 starts, 1 win, and a second. Jumps okay. This horse maps to sit midfield as well. But the biggest advantage for this horse is finally draws a barrier. This horse has drawn barrier 10 the last 2 times, and I know that the stable up there is very happy that they've finally drawn a barrier 4, where this thing won't have to work so hard to get across. It'll sit midfield as well. And it'll definitely be strong to the line as well. So out of that barrier as well, I think that's a positive for this horse. So I'm going to put the Mistral number 1 on top, and I'll go Sweet Chevelle to run a good second.
Yeah, and I'll just sort of reiterate Sweet Chevelle too. Last preparation, mate, it was winning races.
That's right. Yep.
As it liked.
Yep.
It won 3 or 4 on the trot there, and ran a pretty good second or third behind. What was it called, that one? Mighty Mer,
which is
coming out, which was winning on its ear up there, and only got a better length there. So.
And actually, Mighty Mer comes out today, later on the card, and actually runs today.
Yeah, it does. So yeah,
it's going to be good to see a form line run into that. If it runs up to its form there, it's going to be a massive chance.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your numbers there, mate?
So number 1, the Mistral, and number 3, Sweet Chevelle.
Okay. All right. Let's dive into race 2. This is the 3-year-old Trovis BM68. Look. Horse that he probably picks himself, which is first to say.
Yep.
Low level flying at the moment, he is, and we obviously know Chloe pretty well, and We know how well it's going. And had a choice out of a higher grade race a bit later in the program and actually chose the 3-year-old. So it's dual nominated. So smaller fields, there's been a scratching already, which was the bottom weight, Mr. Mount Butler. It's out of the race. So we're down to a sort of field of 6 and drawn beautifully. Meets a lot of these horses, as I did a couple of starts ago when I put them away.
So I finally drew a barrier. Chloe has too. So
yeah,
for this
which is good.
Yeah.
But there's an interesting runner there from the Rob Galberti stable from Broome.
Yep.
He typically brings a lot of horses up here. Obviously, old trainer Ritz of him, which won back-to-back Darwin Carnival, Darwin Cups there. So that's probably the only danger. I think Bradwell Willer's come up to ride as well, which is a big sort of coup for the Carnival.
Yep.
And can probably see Isola Bay, the top weight, jumping out and leading. I had a look at some of its old form down in Broome and sort of top end of WA there. Pretty much jumps well, sits on the pace. Times aren't impressive though, but historically times in Broome are a little bit slower than Darwin times. The surface is a little bit heavier down there. But look, I think it's best 1200 times around 110.4 and
not the quickest.
My gut feeling says if it runs a 110, anywhere in 110 or even a high 109, he's going to get beat.
Yeah, definitely.
I just think First Crusade, horse on the up. I think massive future, and I know Chloe's got a really good animal in her hands here.
Yep.
Chloe backs to the trainer, and I can just see. And the beauty about First Crusade too is he doesn't have to lead.
No.
So he'll and I think the way this race maps, he won't lead. He'll probably sit 1-1 or just maybe outside the leader, depending on how he jumps.
Yeah, just like last start.
Last time he shanghaied out the gates and actually landed in front in case he had no choice but to go the lead.
We didn't expect him to lead, and he actually jumped and went.
I can tell you now, if Isola Bay slow out of the 1,
he's going.
First Crusade will just come across, sit on the paint and win it as he likes. The only problem is there's going to be no price.
Yep.
I did the pricing in 100% market, and we're looking around $1.65, $1.70. Yep. I'd say you're going to get less than that with the bookies and 120%, 180% market. So it's almost a non-betting race for me. But I think First Crusade picked himself from the 4, and I think the danger's probably Galberti's horse, the top weight. Now there's a couple other good horses like Starlight Rebel and Super Famous, which actually knocked off First Crusade a couple of starts ago, but has since been tailed up by First Crusade, and I can't see him turning around 4 or 5 lengths. Yep. So let's just kind of. And it'd be easy for me to label it as the best bet of the day. I'm not going to. I'll have one later in the program. But let's just pick number 3, First Crusade, on top in race 2 from Isola Bay, the top weight. Okay, so 3 from 1.
Beautiful.
In race 2. Now, mate, race 3 is the maiden. Let's just
we'll leave it.
Leave that one alone.
We'll, just the watch, put it back into the notebook.
Goodbye. We'll sit and watch the maiden. But we'll hook over to race 4.
Race 4. Good race. Decent race here. Couple of definitely great horses in this race. One like Belmont Day. This horse has done nothing the last three starts. Back in its day, Belmont Day would absolutely brain this field.
Yeah, put him away.
Easy.
Absolutely.
But I don't know what's going on in that stable. I just don't know what's going on with the horse, but they just cannot get him to fire as of late.
Yeah.
So I can't put him in there. Lane. You can't.
Put it out there.
Yeah. Lane. Let's Lane for the day.
Okay.
There's a few other decent horses in there, like El Magnificence. That's definitely going to be one of the leader. I'll put this race down to a 3-horse battle for the speed. 3 speed horses being El Magnificent. You're going to get Overruled, and you're going to get who was the other one that we had? Miss and Belmont Day and even Belmont Day will be a speed. Will definitely be a speed horse in that race. Yeah, from the 1.
There's no need, Jared. There's no doubt Jared will push from the 1.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got it.
Absolutely.
And like El Magnificence, definitely a speed horse as well. Beat Ideas Man 4 starts back, which is good form.
Yep.
Back to the distance. Last start over the wide barrier, so you can actually disregard that run. But I'm going to label something here. I'm not going too good on my best bets. Best of the day, but I think I've...
Well, you're due.
Oh, I'm due.
You have been picking winners.
Oh, yes.
At a great rate of knots, but you just can't get that...
I just can't get me best bet of the day.
Well, let's get one home.
So, I'm going to go the bottom weight, Royal Tyke.
Okay.
So, out of Kim Hahn, Stan the man on board, 57 kilos, bottom weight.
Like it.
Last 2 starts, second start ago, Ideas Man. Like I said in the same, Ideas Man's come out and won a couple of races, good strong races. Sonia Wiseman off. So, and Stan jumps on board. Sonia jumps on Mr. Monaro, which was the last start winner as well.
You think that's by choice? You think she had a choice of rides?
Oh, I think she did.
Yeah, I think she did.
I think she did, and I think she's jumped on that last start winner.
Yep.
But I just think this race is suited for a backmarker, which will be Royal Tyke and Mighty Mert.
Yep.
Only thing I'm worried about Mighty Mert is the distance. That extra that it doesn't get its 1200. The 1100 is going to be a little bit too short. If this speed battle is going to be up front, like I said, these three horses, if they set a hot tempo, this is going to set up for a backmarker like Mighty Mert and Royal Tyke.
Yep.
But Royal Tyke's times over the 1100 are massive. Like this horse won over the 1100 on a 102 flat, and then a 103 flat. So this horse, if that speed battle's up front hard, I think Royal Tyke's going to pounce late and actually be too strong for her.
Well, I can tell you, if Royal Tyke runs 102 flat, it's winning the race.
It's winning the race, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, and that my only danger is the Mighty Mert is just that distance. That distance is just a worry for me. I think it's going to wind up, but I think it's just going to be too late. Even though it's won over the distance before,
you're going to be nervous late.
I'll be nervous late
because Mighty Mert's best part of its race is the last 50 to 100 metres.
That's right. So I'm hoping that it falls short by 50, but yeah, I just think Overruled from Barrier 2 is just going 4 keys on it as well.
Yep.
This horse will try to lead as well. So Overruled as the leader, Belmont Dad's rule, El Magnificent. They're all 1, 2, 3 barriers, so they're going to be going hard to get to that first turn.
Yep.
Whoever doesn't jump is going to miss it, but whoever jumps, yeah, is definitely going to be in the finish. So I'm going to put on top Royal Tyke as my best of the day, and a big watch for the big Mighty Mert down the outside the grey.
All right, we've got a label, which is nice.
Nice.
All right, yeah, and yeah, it looks well placed too, Royal Tyke.
Yeah. It's due for a win. It's been building up for a win, and I just think, last 4 starts, just missed the placings twice, been in the placing twice. I think this horse is ready to peak now, and I think it's found its right race.
It'll be interesting to see whether Sonia's chosen the right range.
She'll probably send us a message after this, after watching this.
And you put the mock on me, she'll say, lad. So good luck, Sonia.
Yes.
All right. So let's look over to race
5.
Yeah, the 1,000 metre benchmark 66. Now, nice race, interesting race, and I'm going to go back to one of my old horses here, which I think is ready to win. I think Manly Cove can win this race.
Wow.
I like the draw. There's an old saying, right? 1,000 metre horse is 1,000 metre horse, right? You're either like horses are 1,000 metre animals. They typically win these races, and I actually believe Manly Cove's 1,000 metre horse. Okay, so Jared Todd's on's got the right barrier.
Leader.
No. Can lead if it wants to.
Yep.
But I actually think he could get crossed here.
Yep.
I think Expert Witness might be a little bit too sharp for him early.
Yep.
And can take the sit. We'll see though, because if Expert Witness is a little bit slow out and Jared wants to lead, he'll push forward and hold the fence. Which will be really interesting. Now, last run was really great behind Star of Monsoon, Canton Kid, and First Crusade. Now those form lines are really solid.
Yep.
I liked the run because it was a run which almost gave me a feeling of he's just getting back into form.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that a lot. I'm just not sure. Even the run before that when he ran second to Global Wonder. Global Wonder come out and won against Sense.
Yep.
Off a really hot pace. Now, I just think this class drop here for Manly Cove gives him an opportunity to get back in the winner's circle. Mm-hmm. All right, and I think we're going to get some nice each way value about this horse. I think we're going to be sort of 4 or 5 to 1.
Nice.
All right, so we can back him each way.
Yep.
Off the nice sort of map for the race, either lead and win or sit off a hot pace and win. So, and just behind the leaders. So, there's a number of horses out of form there for me. I don't think Telekinesis can win. This is too much of a class rise.
Yep.
I think Rising Sphere is done. Didn't do anything.
Didn't do nothing last night.
And there was a lot of money for it too.
Yep.
Ken Street I tipped about 3 weeks ago. Ran a decent race. Couldn't finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
It almost marries in here for Manly Cove. It almost feels like it's just a beautifully placed race from the Clark stable. So I'm going to set the Manly Cove on top. I'm going to give a really big watch to the 7 Sonic Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
This horse is up from Queensland, ex-Mackay horse. Has been beaten a lip in Mackay about 5 starts and some pretty nice runs down there, nice times. Now, it's going to get in low at the weights. Jade Hampson on.
Yep.
Sort of going to be starting around 52.5. She's drawn well. I can just see getting a nice suck in this race, and this is weak enough to be winning.
Yep.
All right. So and there's enough horses out of form.
Yep.
For Sonic Arrow to be actually being in this race, so I want a real big watch on this horse.
I think a lot of horses are out of form in this race. Even Manly Cove, it hasn't lived up to its true potential yet.
No, it hasn't, because it hasn't come back this prep. Right?
Nah.
So that's what happened. So let's see. The prep before, or the prep before that, sorry, 2 preps ago was winning
every race.
Yeah, had picket fences. So
that's right.
I'm going to be tipping the 5 on top, Manly Cove. Big watch on the 7 Sonic Arrow, both each way, but I'm confident you can back Manly Cove each way at a nice sort of price around that sort of 4 to 5. You could potentially get even 6s, but take Top Tote. I read this fixed price derbies that people rave on about in Darwin.
No.
Top Tote, and we can back each way in an 8-horse field and get your money back if we get beat on the lip.
That's right.
By expert with.
Money's madness up there, Carnival time. We always say it, so yeah.
Incredible.
TT Top Tote, guys.
Take the Top Tote. All right, there we go. That's race 5.
Race 6.
Race 6.
Over the mile.
Over the mile. Okay.
I think the big fella beside me, I think he's got one here. He's been talking to me all morning about it.
This is where my best bet of the day comes on board. And I'm really confident with this one. Really confident. Because I just love the way this race sets up for this horse. I'm going to be tipping Obligatory.
Good horse.
Okay? Gary Clark, Alice Lindsay. Now, I actually believe Gary's put Alice on this horse to get the claim, to bring it back in weight.
Yep.
Finally gets a bit of weight relief. Really well placed, drawn well, and there's going to be some pace. Stablemate Razu's going to go forward. Okay? Phantom Court's going to be on the pace, which was a big watch. And Data Set, which jumped and led last time. Now I can see this mapping absolutely beautifully with a lovely soft sit behind a hot tempo, and actually peeling off and winning this. Had some really good form behind Dominus, which will probably start favourite in the metric mile, the feature race, and the next one we're about to preview.
Yep.
Beat Captain Herrick to start before off a really nice sort of tempo race as well. Ran second, the Little Town Blues a few starts ago. Little Town Blues was absolutely on fire and in career best form in those days. And if I go back even further through the form, got beat a lip by Trident over 1300, and that form line is well good enough to be winning this race, and I just believe this is his race. Now I'm actually gonna lay one here, and I reckon there's going to be a few surprises when I say this. I don't think Dataset can win this race.
Last start winner,
and I just believe there's way too much tempo on this race, and I actually believe there's going to be some riding tactics here, which is going to upset Dataset because there's no soft lead this time. Okay, and I'm willing to actually say that Dataset can't win this race, and I know there's going to be plenty of people who tip him. And it's going to kind of nice run off the 1, but you've got to remember Razu's going to come across from the 8, and I think Razu's a lay because that 8's going to almost
kill it.
Well, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt coming across there from that wide barrier.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be tipping the fact that Obligatory's going to get this beautiful little suck in behind him. Alice Lindsay's going to be sort of peeling off their back and be there to finish in. I love the way he's been finishing his race of late. I think this is being set up and on a speed map to sort of fulfill that. All right. So I'm going to be labelling number 2 Obligatory as my bet of the day. Okay. Little bit of an each way danger here, and I tipped her last start. Sorry, Phantom Court. Now she mapped exactly how I said she was going to map there on the Wednesday, which was the midweek meeting.
Yep.
Mapped beautifully, sat behind the pace, and just couldn't finish off. Got beat about 3 or 4 lengths, and just smelled of a horse which is moving through its sort of campaign, and it's getting ready to build up the win. Now I want to have a save on Phantom Court. I do not want her getting underneath my guard here, and I'm afraid that the way this race maps for both of these horses, Obligatory and Phantom Court, they're both going to be in with a really hot chance of winning this race. But I just think, just the way this is mapping up for Obligatory, I think he's going to be too good. So I'm going to label Obligatory as my bet of the day, number 2, with a big each way watch on number 8, Phantom Court. Okay.
Nice.
And willing to label Data Set.
Yes, lay. Oh, there's a horse down the bottom there. I don't mind it as well. Real Divine. Yeah, massive money for this thing last start. Where finished 4th to that horse Lady Whistletown that we backed. So hopefully hopefully obligatory your thing, Gav, can get up. But yeah, let's just kick it on.
I'm confident. Get on. Right, so let's move into the final race of the program, which is the feature for Saturday's, for day 5 of the Carnival, which is the metric mile, 1,600 metres. Nice looking field here, and we see the return of the Alice Springs Cup runner-up.
Yep.
From this year, I'm the Fox.
First up.
Can he win?
Nah, not first up. We'll need the run, I think. Just first up. In this field, I just think he'll need the run.
Yeah, I think he will too. And look, I think he'll be charging home late.
Oh, definitely.
And it'll have a get on me next sort of start sort of run.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Obviously cup bound.
Yep.
Yep. And together with living the dreams from the Gilberti stable.
Yep.
Have read in the press that Rob's coming up here to try and win it. Almost the same ownership group as it's a him.
Yep.
So there's a lot of connection there, and I know they've had a lot of success in Darwin. That makes it really interesting and a really interesting run-up. But I think they're going to find out whether he's good enough in this race. Okay, so I think if there's no, I don't know. I just don't know where he sort of sits in this race. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
And good to see. Brad's followed him up as well. He's on him again, Brad Willis. So, but we've actually gone different selection in this each, mate. I think we've had a little dibble each.
Well, what do you got?
I think I'm going to stay away. I'm just going to throw one out there, Desert Lass. I'm just going to throw... I think you're going to get odds for this thing too. I just did a couple of videos going back to this thing. Third last start to Chaotic. And Chaotic's in the same race. It's number 3. Desert Lass is race number 4, sorry. Mate, this is a massive drop in weight for this thing. 5 kilos. Drops from a 59 back to a 54.
It's a mare, yep.
Yeah. So I just think its last start was 3 to 4 wide on the run without no cover at all. Massive run from it back then. So I'm just throwing it in there as it's in the cup. As it's in the cup, I just think this is anyone's race really, except for the favourite. I know a lot of people and yourself, I think, are actually backing this favourite as you're back to 2 starts ago. But I'm just going to have a little saviour on Desert Lass. I just think the trip last run with the trip out of barrier 10, which is no drama for it all. It should get a sit.
You're not afraid of getting the same run from barrier 10?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
So, I'm just going to throw it there. I think you'll get decent each way odds for this thing for sure.
Mate, current early market is around the $9 to $10 mark.
Yeah, so perfect.
There you go.
So you'll get the 280 a place mark easy for this horse. So top tape will get more hopefully. But
invitation if you back this one.
I'm just going to have a little saviour on Desert Lass the 4.
Yeah, she ran really well last start in Darwin. And that was a big run. I actually ran beyond what my expectations of her.
Yep.
I actually backed her down at Alice 2 starts ago.
Yeah.
When she got run down by a stablemate, by Zelric, and I thought you're pretty weak. So I couldn't. Look, we're all different.
Yep.
And Timbo likes it, and he's been informed, so don't let me talk you out of it. Look, but I just think the favourite looks really hard to beat, Dominus, and I know very well that he got beat last start as a pretty short favourite.
Yep.
Mate, that was a great run though. Got beat a length. Got beat a little over a length.
Yep.
Okay, against a pretty smart horse and Chaotic, and Magnus Seaver was out the back and stormed home and sort of, and Desert Lass was in that race too. So they're all finished in that sort of clump. So I just think, and they ran a bit slower time. So and I remember having a chat to you about that race. And I said to you that it's really hard for a horse like Dominus to sort of repeat its last run.
Yep.
When that was almost a career best run.
Yep.
Broke the track record, won by 6 lengths on his ear. To come out and replicate that is very difficult.
Yeah, it'd be hard.
All right, definitely. So that's where he was vulnerable last start. Mm-hmm. I think now another run under his belt, sticking to the mile, drawn well again. I can see sort of jump, sit on the pace and sort of dictate as you like.
Yeah.
Now my danger, obviously, mate. I tipped Magnus Seaver last start as well as the big danger, and actually, I tell you, I backed him each way, and I was screaming in the last sort of 20 metres, get up, you thing, and just got nailed by nose, missed out by nose, and I think that's another. I think there's the danger there. I think that sort of soft sort of sit at the back, storming home. It's going to be really difficult to beat. So I think that's your Quinella.
Yep.
But listen, I give chances to obviously the Desert Lass. Chaotic can win the race again, beat all the same horses last start, but again, it's got to repeat another almost another career best performance.
Yep.
Okay, there's sort of that marries into what we're sort of talking about.
Yep.
And obviously, there's a big watch on living the dream. At the top
also, write your name, the Vanessa's Mount.
Yeah,
like that was a massive run as well last start. It flew home, that horse.
Yeah,
absolutely grew wings. So it's carnival time. Everyone's bringing their decent horses up. So I just think, I think Stan the Man's going to have a big day. He's riding your thing, Dominus. There, he's on another couple of things that I like. I reckon Big Stan Saturday's going to have a big day. You've seen Sonia; she's had a big carnival. You've seen Adam Nicholas; he's had a big carnival.
Yeah.
So I think Stan, it's this week for the big man, and he's a big chance.
Well, we can ride all the winners that I've tipped where you like, Stanley boy. Do what you need to do, brother. All right, mate. So that's the sort of takeoff of this Saturday. Just run through your best bet again for us.
Mate, my best bet will be race 4, number 7, Royal Tyke.
Okay, and I'm going to be going race 6, number 2, Obligatory. You can back those two with a fair amount of confidence. We've done a power or a ton of sort of work this week, trying to get back
on board.
Get back on board, aren't we? Back in a bit of form. So, all right, guys. Happy punting. We'll sort of dial in again next week to preview. It's the sprint day next Saturday, mate.
Yeah, it should be good.
Massive.
Good.
And then we've got Cup Day on the Monday.
Yes, we do.
All right. Good luck, everyone. Happy punting.
Thanks, guys.